All right, and welcome back to our East County Prep Football Previews. Dave, we're just hours away from finally getting back on the field. We saw a little scrimmage action earlier tonight around the county. We got some disappointing news as well. We'll touch on that, even though we're talking tonight to the Mountain Empire RedHawks coming to us from Mountain Pine Valley and the way. Dave, thank you for getting the RedHawks together with us, joining us tonight. We'll get Coach Bernard Van's stream back in there. He might be ditching class, guys. Oh, that might be me, actually. Sorry about that. I might be having the technical problem, but let's meet all of our guys here from the RedHawks. We got some veterans and joining us. We'll start at the bottom since I had to stick him down there. Marcus Smith joins us. AIDEN, HAMADA, CHAZ, ENNIS, and Larry Clark, and of course, Coach Bernard Van. Dave, thanks for getting the RedHawks together for us. They're going to open the season with a real good game tomorrow against Maranatha, and they got an exciting schedule of 6 games, it looks like, including Holtville, of course. But let's see what the RedHawks are up to, especially given the situation out there. And, hey, things are looking great.
Yeah, I know I'm going to start with CHAZ on that. You're very familiar, I'm sure, with the H word out there, and Holtville is just that's not something you guys like to talk about around your campus unless it's a victory over Holtville, from what I understand, and knowing Coach Van and getting to know quite a few really quite competitive RedHawks teams in the last few years. Coach has done real well, and I'm sure you're familiar with that too. But Holtville still on your radar too as a number one must win.
Well, personally, I think we all hold like a little grudge against them. But yeah, honestly, one of my main goals personally is to get a win over them my season. So I'm getting ready for it.
And CHAZ, how about? And I'm going to go around the horn. Just this season in itself it's quite the different type of season, and I think it will go down as one of the most legendary seasons in high school sports for many years to come. It'll probably be decades before anything similar to this happens, with the shortened season to football being pushed back. Starting in December 12th was the original practice date, and ended up in March, and now we're playing spring football. But out where you guys practice in Pine Valley, that's not entirely a bad thing, because you're not sweating so bad you can't see and having that stinging sweat going on underneath the helmet. So I'm sure that the weather has been helping you out quite a bit.
Yeah, the weather's actually been pretty nice. It's been a little cold lately, but it's been pretty good.
As opposed to a typical August out in Pine Valley, which is I don't want to say unbearable, but it definitely is not the easiest one to get through at the start of the season. And hey, look at it this way: that season is only a few months away. I mean, this is kind of a preseason prequel to what's going to happen in a couple of months, and it'll come up quicker than you can think.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah.
And then lastly, CHAZ, and then we'll move it around and we'll get to Ramon. What are you looking forward to most about this season, besides just playing football and being able to be out there with your teammates and being able to have at least 6 games?
That's hard. I don't know. That's a hard one.
Just the whole camaraderie, everything. I mean, there's too many to name. I'm sure that's probably why it's so tough. But at any rate, Ramon.
I'm sorry. What was that you cut out for me?
Oh, I was saying there's probably so many that you can't really pinpoint one. So I was gonna send it to Ramon, and then he went out.
Yeah, sorry about that,
Alright.
guys. No, my thinking through this whole thing. I mean, we've talked about it, Dave. We've had several teams on, but as we get ready for this season, it's just a matter of the getting back out on the field and kind of getting back to normal, and that's what we've all talked about. But my question would relate more towards how you guys are approaching it. I mean, the 6 games. We know we have some tough games on this schedule. I don't know. We'll ask Coach Van what it was like to try to schedule this. But Larry, for you veterans of the team, will these 6 games, given the circumstances, be a very, very rewarding time, knowing what we've all just been through? And we're sorry we didn't get to play a full season, but this is something we're going to look back and maybe we can remember these 6 weeks as something kind of special, even though we're still brokenhearted a bit. You with me, Larry?
No, I'm sorry. You cut out like half that.
Okay, I might be cutting out, Dave. I'm real sorry if we're having some technical difficulties, guys. Marcus, you can come help me out a little bit on this one for you veteran players of the RedHawks. Is there some reward to being able to at least get out there for 6 weeks, despite the disappointments of not being able to play a full season? I know we all wanted to see what kind of damage you could do over a full campaign.
Yeah. Well, to me and my teammates, I know it's a reward that we get to play the 6 games because it looked like for a long time we might not even get to play any games. So although we don't get to play a full season, we still get to battle it out with 6 games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Aiden, how about you? What kind of excitement are you guys feeling as players finally getting ready to play a game? Practices are probably kind of dragging on, and who knows how tired you guys got of all the preparations, the Zoom practices and all that, whatever you guys did. Maybe you could tell us what you guys did before we were actually given the go-ahead to really have some real practices. How did the RedHawks approach staying in condition, staying ready for this possible season? And did you guys get guidance from the coaches to say, stay ready, stay ready? It looks like something could happen, maybe even several weeks before we got the word last month?
Yeah, for sure. We since summer we've been out there practicing socially distanced, just conditioning. Our coaches have been a great help and just helping us stay motivated, keeping us telling us to work out at home, just trying to keep us in shape. And then a few weeks ago Coach Van was just telling us be ready because it's going to happen soon. And then we got the okay for pads and it was go time. So we're all excited to play and we're all ready to go.
Coach, were you pretty optimistic that we were going to, like a lot of coaches in the Grossmont Conference were pretty optimistic? Were you pretty optimistic that we were going to get a season, even though it may have been shortened? In the back of your mind, you were pretty confident that we were going to play a few games.
Yeah, I was pretty confident. It went up and down. Like Aiden said, we've been out there a long time ourselves, conditioning and doing workouts. We've been out there since July, so we're ready to go. Like we've been waiting for this. And as I said, it went up and down. Like around that Thanksgiving, Christmas time, it looked like, oh no, maybe we won't. Then it started to pick back up and look like, oh, maybe we might. And finally, we got to go ahead, and everybody was just ready.
It was almost like I think the magic number I keep hearing was about 14 months of practicing and conditioning. And would you? I'm going to say go out on a limb and say that probably these kids are in the best physical shape, a majority of them anyway, than they probably have been in many years.
I would agree with that. I would say our conditioning is probably really good, like the best it's been. You're right, because that's all we've been doing. Running, drills and cones, ladders, push-ups, squats, and we've just been doing that for quite a while here.
Which, of course, that'll help. Even though it is a shortened season, that'll help. In the pros, they didn't get much of that, so they didn't get
Right,
that preparation.
right.
So they had so many injuries. So I think as a result, we should probably see less injuries at the high school level, with all of the preparation that we've had as a whole.
I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
Hey, Larry, can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay, great. What about tomorrow's game? What's your preparation been like leading up to tomorrow's game? And what do you guys know about the Eagles? I saw some pictures of you guys in practice. Looks like you guys were a little bit affected by the rugged weather a little bit. Dave's trying to sell us on good weather, but I think the sky's cleared enough to get some good practice in this week. How hard and focused are you guys for Maranatha Christian?
Pretty excited. I mean, I don't know much about their football team, but they've had some studs on their wrestling team. And been practicing about a year, working out every day, just waiting for my chance.
No, Larry, that's got to be. I was going to lead into that as well. I mean, we talk about the physical all the time, but how about the mental stability that we have, or lack thereof? There probably was during the middle of the COVID surge, but now that as of 2 weeks ago, it seems that all of the players, all student athletes across the country, really, it's really changed their mindset, and everybody's just so optimistic now about their health, about life in general. Would you agree with that?
Well, just might have a delay there with Larry. We'll try him once again. Yep. Yeah.
I see
Okay.
it. Yep. You're right. Yeah.
Yep. Coach, we'll get back. We'll ask him once again, Dave. Remember that question. But, Coach, how difficult was it to get a schedule together for you guys? Not everybody could get 6 games. And, you always got to have, like Dave said, Holtville on that schedule. But, of course,
Right.
Vincent on the schedule again. I see La Jolla Country Day on there. So,
Right.
and Palo Verde. So how tough was it for you to get a schedule together?
Well, the 3 games against Holtville and Palo Verde and Vincent, those were pretty easy because those were our league games anyway.
Sure.
So they just stayed the same. The other 3 games, it was a little, tough getting those games. I talked to a few coaches and got Maranatha and Country Day on there. Calipatria was supposed to be on the schedule. That would have been our other game, but they wound up not being able to play. So actually, like last week, I just got Crawford. I saw that they were looking for a game, and I called their coach, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we can do it." So I got lucky on that one.
Coach, we've had last year was a little bit of a change, a lot more youth,
Yes.
and then we missed about, let's just call it almost a complete year of football. But prior to that, we had 4 strong years of fantastic RedHawks football. From freshmen, they were all pretty much freshmen through senior years,
Right.
and some championships there, and knocking off Army Navy, and some crazy stuff going on in the stands. Even a couple years back of people cheering for Army Navy from Hopeville.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Some crazy stuff going on out there.
Yeah.
in the Valley. But that brings up the question. I know you don't know too much because it's been so long, but if you had to make a quick evaluation in regards to this team here.
I would say we had a lot of guys, like you said, that were young last year. And I feel like, we took our lumps and, I'm speaking of like CHAZ and Larry, they were sophomores and they were thrown in there and they had to play. And I know it was tough, but it's going to pay off. Just like you were saying, our last class, they got better and better every year. That'll pay off for them too. It'll happen the same way for them. I think something that, happened, I guess it was good, but not really because we didn't play, but it was one good thing out of it was us conditioning and working so long that all of those new guys we had, they're kind of like, like not freshmen and sophomores now, you know what I mean? Because we've been at it so long. They got like extra time to get ready and be prepared for this right now. So I think that'll go a long way for us also. Now,
how about you got a shortened season. You had those great years. Have any of your current players seen some of the film from those years? Did you show them clips of what they can be and that they're capable of being too, and that they?
Well, we keep all that on Huddle, and we always have it tagged, the plays and what we're doing, so they can always go back and they look at, okay, this is how it's supposed to look. You know what I mean? Like, and Marcus was he was a starter on that 2018 championship team when we won a league title. He was a starter at receiver, so he understands definitely, and he does a really good job of being a leader out there and trying to bring everybody along to, the standard that we want to be at.
Yeah, and where you're located, a lot of people, especially in the East County, they don't realize that you are part of the East County, just a little further east.
Right, right.
But then we always mention it, back then, the Daily Californian used to be dropped off out there, and that used to be one of the key newspapers that were reporting. My father was reporting on you guys out there.
Yeah.
And, ever since we met up, I think, as a matter of fact, your freshman class, I think when you started there. And
it was,
so we've definitely had we've gone through our ups and downs with you as well. And we even had a female assistant writer. I mean, we've had some pretty neat times out there, Ramon, with these guys. And even I remember a game. It was against San Ysidro. You had to play at San Ysidro.
I knew you were going to say that.
That game
you were going to say that.
That was a heck of a game.
Oh no, I won't forget that. I'll never forget that game. Yeah,
never.
That just was. If there was ever a tale of two halves.
Yes.
Yes. You did. What Tom Brady and Bill Belichick did to the Atlanta Falcons couple years back.
It was like that, right? Yeah, it was. It was like that. It was like that.
Drain the fuel, and then you guys
But don't forget now, the next year we shut them out like 44-0. So don't forget that either. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think Dave, you're kind of alluding that for the RedHawks, it's all about family out there, and just the camaraderie that you see with this team. And hey, those are some special games, especially those big rivalry games that you mentioned, the Holtville game and whatnot, and these league games. And maybe we might have taken our lumps, but hey, this is a great equalizer right now. Did we have any trouble, Coach, getting our numbers, staying our numbers? It's always, we're a smaller school, but a lot of the schools, no matter how big or small, had a percentage of players maybe that did not want to play. You find you got a complete full roster to be able to run these guys in and out?
Well, you're right about it's hard out there sometimes. We stay at about, I would say, 25, 28, 30, something in there. This year we're probably around 27. And you're right, it is, kids don't play like the next year. So two of our starters aren't even back. They didn't even play this year. One was our quarterback and another guy was our other receiver with Marcus. Those two didn't even play this year. And I figure, they didn't even want to go through that long process that we were going through, right? I understand. That's why they didn't want to play. They didn't want to do all that, and then we don't play. But I give credit to the guys we have. They stuck through all of that, and now they're going to be rewarded for that.
Marcus, you didn't want to go out there, and I'm sure you made a couple of attempts to maybe kind of talk them into it and coming back to the team. I'm sure you would have loved to have had your quarterback back and maybe another one of your receivers. Am I right?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to have them back, but whatever their decisions were to go start in the workforce, and like the coach was saying, they didn't want to wait the wait. Well, that's okay.
Well, Marcus, we've seen you put up big numbers, make big plays. How is it going to be? Do you feel comfortable? Tell us about the offense. Let's let you guys do the talking instead of Coach. Maybe name some of the guys that you're with out there. We know we don't have Larry, but we know he kind of calls the shots on the line probably. But tell me about the offense.
So starting on our outside, we have me at outside, and we have Zane at tight end, and we have Larry and Aiden at running back, and then we have a freshman quarterback this year. His name's Corey Van. Which I think is going to do pretty good. And then we got on the other side, we have a freshman named Mannix as our starting slot receiver. Pretty quick, bursty, good hands. So I think he's going to do pretty well. And then we have Daniel Obed starting out there as our other wideout, who I also think is going to do pretty good at tracking the ball, good hands, good speed. So I think we're going to look pretty good.
Now, how about that protection up there for your freshman quarterback?
I think they're going to do pretty good. I know we got some new guys on the line and some freshmen, but I feel like overall I feel like they're going to hold up pretty well.
CHAZ, we pretty big up front?
I'd say we have a pretty big line. Yeah, little above average, I'd say.
And Aiden, they making those holes for you when you're playing in the backfield. And how about the offense? We know about Marcus's past and his strong stats. Are you guys balanced? Looking to be balanced with you back there? Tell me about that.
Yeah, the RO line, they're young, but I think that if we really put our minds to it, we can get it done. Like we gotta grind, but I think we can do it. And then I'm just hoping to get some good stats this year. Running back along with Marcus, run my numbers up. I was second string last year behind Jericho Brennan, so it was a good learning year. I learned how to run. Basically, I learned how to play running back. So this year will be better, and I'm hoping to do good this year.
Oh, no doubt. That's a.
How about are we going to have any? Is there some?
Sorry, Dave. I'm trying to get Larry. Go ahead. So I would say Brennan's a good running back to learn behind. I'm trying to bring Larry back. Sorry about that, you guys. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Okay.
No. I was just trying to get a feel for the quarterback that we do have back there. If he's an elusive quarterback with a good pair of legs, how his vision is down the field.
Well, Coach, when you start a freshman, you work from scratch, but you know what? There's a long future ahead too.
Yeah. Like Marcus said, we wanted our senior, but things happen. It is what it is. So that's the guy. He would be more of a pocket guy. He knows the offense pretty well, and he goes through his reads pretty well. The rest is, he's a freshman. He's got to develop, right?
But he's got an arm, maybe. Or are we gonna dink and dunk, or he can throw the deep one to Marcus? And
well, I would say, like we've been out there, we talked about that. So I would say at the beginning, he probably struggled a little bit at that, but we've been out there so long and doing this so long, he has got better at that. Yeah, we can get the ball out to Marcus. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't normally want to say that, but I mean, everybody knows, so it's not a secret.
Yeah. That's why I was going there. And I saw Marcus snickering on that, so I figured.
Yeah, we throwing it to him. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it kind of beneficial when you got other players as well. When a player like Marcus demands so much attention from other teams. So, what do you know about the Eagles, Bernard?
Defensively, they're pretty strong, and from what I've seen on film, they mostly play like a too high. They have a too high shell, so they seem, like I said, they seem pretty strong. They were kind of stiff against the run, so we'll see what we can do. CHAZ there, and we do have our senior. I don't know if you remember him, Ephraim Penuelis. So we do have both of those guys at tackle. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh no, that's a definite veteran presence for you guys.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, and we don't want to give away the game plan, but it sounds like to me we want to play some good defense and maybe pound the ball a little bit, a little clock management, and maybe some of these open up for that big pass down the field, or might be some lower scoring games, real close games. But we definitely want to. That also depends on avoiding penalties and winning the turnover battle, which is always huge.
Oh, it sounds like we got to grind against these teams.
Yes. I definitely think our defense is the strength of our team. I think our linebacker core is the strength of our defense too. We have Larry, AIDEN, Danny Obed, and right now we're gonna have a freshman start because the guy that was starting, he can't play this week, Hunter Morgan. All those guys played varsity last year. But the freshman, he'll be in the middle with Larry, so that'll be a freshman there. But I do think that's the strength of our defense, our linebacking core.
AIDEN, help me out. I'm having trouble getting Larry back, and I want to make it up to him if I can't get him back on. So talk him up a little bit. Talk about the linebacking core and the defense. I mean, we know CHAZ is going to be tough up front, but give me some other names on the defense. Maybe some of the guys also behind you guys in the secondary. If you remember their names.
Yeah.
Last
names.
names.
At safety, obviously we have Marcus, and then our two corners. But I believe this year we're going to have Nate. Forgive me, I can't remember his last name.
That's okay.
On the outside.
Nate Thompson.
Yeah,
Nate Thompson.
Coach can help us.
And then our other corner will be Rodrigo Gonzalez. I'll be playing outside linebacker along with Daniel Obed, and then our inside linebackers will be Larry and David, I believe. David, yeah. And then
Lost Bike,
thank you. And then our ends will be Ephraim Penuelis and Lucas Spencer, and our interior line will be CHAZ and Grayson Spencer.
I think he just named 11. I was going to say, hey, CHAZ, did he? Can you get anybody else? But I think he just named 11 guys. CHAZ.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Aiden's one of those.
Yeah.
Aiden's one of those coaches on the field, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I think we do have a really we have a strong defense this year, and Larry's a great linebacker. He'll fly the ball, and he's not afraid to hit. He's a big dude, and I'm glad to have him fill in when I'm containing. So
Yeah.
And how about Marcus? Are you looking forward to going through up through the middle for those big ones?
Oh yeah, I'm hyped. I've been waiting a long time to hit. We've been waiting a long time to put pads on and go out there.
Yeah,
Now,
no doubt. Go ahead, Dave.
now, Marcus, I want to, if I recall, you were you playing DB as well?
Oh, yeah.
No, I previously played outside linebacker.
Okay.
Okay.
I knew he played. I knew he played on defense. I was just trying to place it.
Well,
But
is the shift though, Marcus? The shift they mentioned in the secondary now, is that because these guys, the linebackers are stronger this year? I'd imagine.
Well, last year I moved to safety because it's just I just have a good feel for the
That's what I
position. I have
thought.
a
Okay.
good vibe or a good I can have a good read when I'm getting depth. I can see the outside routes and the inside routes very well. So when they moved me to the position, I just adapted very well.
that's why I was thinking that maybe you were a DB. I was thinking secondary because, being a receiver and everything too. It made sense. So that's probably why I pictured that. And is there a chance? There's always a chance we shift those guys around if need be, right, Coach?
Yes. Definitely. Yes.
Especially a good pair of eyes, like Marcus that can read that defense and read the quarterback and those motions, especially.
Yes. Marcus is pretty versatile. I mean, that's why we were able to put him at safety. He 2018 he was starting outside linebacker. Then 2019 we put him at safety. I mean, he's pretty versatile. We can put him at different positions, wherever we need something.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Dave, I was going to try to get the RedHawks maybe to join our new stream, but I think the RedHawks have some streaming plans of their own. What are the plans for your fans? Who can come out there? I think you had a message that said the games are going to be streamed on Facebook. Is that still the plan? And tell me what the plan is and what the parents can do. Can other people come? What's the plan out in your area?
Well, so we're not doing fans, but we are being streamed on Facebook. Our AD has that set up and everything. So I'm gonna get that out on our social media tomorrow. The link and everything for that.
Well, that definitely opens up some questions for these guys. It's got to be a bit disappointing. And hey, you know what? Things could change in just
Right.
a week or two.
Right.
So,
Right.
we're at home for this first game, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
CHAZ, how's it going to be going out there? Just kind of looking like some of the games we've watched on TV a bit over these last couple of months. Bit of disappointment, but is getting out there going to make it all better at least for a couple of hours?
Personally, I think everyone on our team's just excited to get on the field and ready to play. Honestly, I would be more excited if we had more fans, but I mean, I'm really excited to play.
Hey, Aiden, how has it gone with that beautiful weight room that you guys got and the pandemic? Did we have to stay away from that place for a while? I bet you guys couldn't wait to get back in there.
Yeah, over the summer a little, we got back into a little bit when we were in red a little bit before we got back into purple, and then we got back into purple. Yeah, it's just been sitting there and looking pretty, and yeah, it's been rough, but we got to use it a little bit, and I mean, using it once is better than using it not at all. So we got to use it, and I'm excited. So
But I mean, what about that microband? I mean, you get that 24-hour stuff they claim, right? Get some microband and just douse that stuff and get in there and freaking go to it. Man, I can't even imagine looking at a nice weight room like that, which they've done a couple of schools out here too. They
Yeah.
started a couple years back. Helix got one. Valhalla got one pretty recently as well. And then you guys too. I mean, I couldn't even, if I was you guys, I couldn't even walk by. I couldn't look. I couldn't look.
Right.
If I'm looking at all that brand new equipment, it's better I just keep looking forward. Either that, or like I said, get that microband stuff, like the way they spray at the professional level, and just go in there and just douse the place so you guys can get to work. You know, get the taxpayers' money's worth, if you will.
Yeah. Then during that little time that we could use it, we had team managers and everything in there, and it was like that, like you're saying, everything we touched, when they finished something, everything was sprayed down and wiped down and everything. Yeah. That's how we were going.
Now, how were you guys pretty similar with what most of the Grossmont Conference teams were doing at the beginning, where you were having to, wipe off every ball after every
Yes.
time you snap the ball? I mean,
Yes.
just completely redundant, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, and now I don't know if you guys have adapted now too. For instance, I think it was Granite Hills we were talking to. They can use their own, now the quarterback can use their own ball.
Right.
And pretty much, is that what you guys are doing out there?
Yeah. Actually, at one point, when we would get the jugs machine out, and we just went ahead and bought like some more footballs, and every person had their own football going through the jugs machine. And the coach that was working the jugs machine, he would have on like the latex gloves.
Okay.
And that's how we were doing that for a while. Then afterwards, we lay the balls down and we go ahead and disinfect them off and put them away.
Man, a lot of work.
Yeah, it was. But again, it's gonna be worth it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. No, and that's all pretty typical too. Same thing. Before you guys, I imagine already took the 24-hour COVID test. You guys already probably at what? Probably about 2 hours ago or so.
Yeah. We did it. We're gonna be doing it every Tuesday. So we did it Tuesday, and everybody was negative. So we were really happy about that. So yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, Dave, and I'll just while we got one of our shows, I'll just mention some news. I don't know if Coach Van even heard it. We did lose a game already out here in the East County. Grossmont's game against Mission Hills. It's going to be canceled. Yeah, Mission Hills had a positive test, so unfortunately left the Foothillers without a game in their opener. They were going to host Mission Hills in what would have been a real nice ball game.
Yeah, that would have been.
But didn't just not working out. But hey, these things are going to happen right now, I guess. Right. But as far as the overall, I think of when we talk about further east and the problems they had out in the Imperial Valley. I mean, I know you guys are a little bit closer to the west, but is the community as a whole out there? I'm sure just the feel for it, the health of the community. How has the actual pandemic been in Pine Valley? I imagine it's kind of the same as here, but can you just fill me in on that?
Over the whole span of this year, I would say out there, it hasn't been quite as bad out there because most of the people, they aren't in town around everyone, right? And where these guys live, those places are spread out, right? So they're not like all up on each other and all together all the time like that. So I would say it's been less out there. I'm not saying it hasn't been any, but it's been less out there, definitely.
Yeah. Now I see Marcus sporting his face covering. I don't know if he's got some guests in there that are not maybe part of the family, or if he's just. Are you guys playing with a mask or practicing at all with those masks on? Just curious.
Well, we don't have them on when we're out there on the field actually doing things. But if you're on the sideline or whatever, yeah, we do have them on. And we talked about, well, maybe we could try to get gaiters, so they could just be around your neck and you just pull them
Yeah.
up when you're on the sideline, right? So
Yeah.
I purchased some of those, and we're waiting for those to come in. So that's what I'm getting one for everyone. So that'll be a lot simpler and cleaner.
Some RedHawk gaiters.
Yes.
Team logo.
Well, not to mention a little less. It's a little thinner material, so you won't be sucking in all that carbon dioxide like you do with some of these masks.
Right.
Go ahead, Dave.
What happened? Okay. So now, overall, I'm trying to do the figures. Your first game, you haven't played Maratha Christian in a while, have you?
No, I was thinking about that the other day. We haven't played them since my first year there. We had like a big 4-way scrimmage, and we scrimmaged them that year. I haven't played them since then.
Yeah, and go ahead, Dave. Yeah,
and that was a win, correct?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to look that up when I write a little preview tonight, Dave. I think I'm gonna have to look that up.
That's gonna be the number one.
If I remember correctly, like I said, that was my first year. I know they made some plays and we made some plays, but I don't really think we didn't keep score or anything. But they made some plays and we made some plays too. So I think if it was a game, I would say it was probably close.
Okay.
Yeah, and we think about Holtville and everything, and I think Marcus had a game against Holtville as a sophomore, but last year he didn't play in that game. Probably looking forward to getting him back out there against the Vikings. Marcus, get your chance and make up for what happened. Help your teammates out for get a little revenge on these guys for what happened last year.
Oh yes, sir. Last year was a misfortunate that I couldn't play in the game. On my part, that was my fault. But this year, I'm hopefully gonna help my team out and play our hearts out.
That's the lessons we learn as football players, right?
Yep.
Keeping it real with your team, with your teammates, yep. Dave. Yeah. So this schedule, Dave, Maranatha is the first game, and Coach Van mentioned it. Some of the league opponents: Vincent in the second week, La Jolla Country Day, that Crawford game, then the Holtville game, then Palo Verde Valley AIDEN. What I was saying to CHAZ about the fans at the games, it's still going to be worth it to get out there tomorrow. Let them. We'll be able to watch. We'll be able to watch on the internet.
Right.
Hey, is that going to be cool? It's okay with no fans to start? Just excited?
Yeah, sorry you cut out for a second there.
I'm having some problems.
Yeah, no, it's going to be cool. I know they were saying that we're allowed 4 immediate family members, so there'll be some people in the stands, but I mean, even if there wasn't any people in the stands, we're all just excited to play. Like I think, speaking for most of our team, if there wasn't any fans in the stands, we would still want to play just as badly. So we've been dying to play for a long time, so we're ready.
Fill me in on that, Coach. Maybe I misunderstood. There are 4 tickets per player?
No, there isn't. No, there is not 4 tickets per player. No.
So it's a little different.
AIDEN is a little mistaken there.
My bad, Coach. I thought there was.
No.
So
maybe
it's a lot different. Yeah. It's a lot different than the Grossmont Conference, and so there's going to be no tickets available to even family members, correct?
Right.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to find out more just in a matter of days after these games are played. By Tuesday, things could change. We're already seeing movement throughout the state, allowing for more things to happen with athletics, with people in attendance, with the movement of teams and players. So everything continues to be positive, despite some of the things that are going to happen, some of the bumps in the road, if you will, like we mentioned there, with the Foothiller game, Dave. So just looking forward to it. We're going to definitely be trying to get our information from the RedHawks, Dave. I hope that Coach Van's got his crew ready to help us out. I was hoping to bring them on our stream, but if they got their own stream, I think that's good.
Well, he's already got me, and I'm gonna contact her. I already got my contact for getting some game summary and photos and stuff, and so we'll be able to make a little panoramic deal for the RedHawks every week too, and get some good quotes and all that good stuff from more than likely. I expect quite a few quotes from Marcus, of course. What are we looking at? At least I know it's a shortened season, so we'll just say 13 touchdowns.
Two a game at least.
That'll be good.
That's the plan.
That'll be good. And also, Ramon, I agree with you. I think probably in a week or so, I think that whole little situation is going to change too. I'm thinking that too. I think things will open up a little more for the games and stuff.
Yeah.
The only ones that really suffered, I think, the worst with this thing is the community colleges, the JCs. They really, at least we got 6 games, but the community colleges they shut them down. Period.
Yeah, they just shut it down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame too. They're trying to get recruited to a 4-year, at the local community college level, and as a matter of fact, I don't want to say it worked out for the better, because I'd rather him get picked up by a great school, but we ended up with the Santana quarterback, Drew Temple from last year.
Oh, really?
Or Nate Temple, I should say. And he's going to be doing some writing and some pictures and video for us out in East County. He's going to be our Santana guy. So
very cool.
So why not? We did
Very
that with.
cool.
We did that. The first test was with your girl. Oh darn it!
That picture you got on the site. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. With Heather. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was telling me you had the picture on there. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So any student. Like he said, I'll stick around as long as I can. But when they call me back for football, then I'm gonna have to bolt out. But hey, we'll utilize them until then. So
that's good.
It's good for their resume. And who knows, there could be one of these guys on the front they want to get into sports broadcasting someday. So
definitely,
you never know. So
right, he could go into that when he get out of school. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So there's the opportunity.
Hey, don't do it. You'll just end up like an old guy in a box with no hair, like high school football games.
Easy.
Well, want to thank. I'm going to cut it at 45 minutes. I want to appreciate the RedHawks. We got a chance to talk to him. Please apologize to Larry for me. I've struggled a little bit with my production. Okay. I'm kind of bummed, but I think we got what we wanted to hear from these guys for sure as we approach these 6 games. And you know what, Dave, we might be able to, you've all worked so hard to have the RedHawks and their post games. Maybe we can bring them on live after one of their big wins, especially if we get the big win that we know we want.
That would be good, Ramon. That would be good.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun. And I'll be checking out the games on Facebook. What we're going to do, Coach, is kind of stream the games kind of like you're seeing right here. Try to do 2 or 3 at a time. But we'll see. Maybe we can get the RedHawks involved, especially when those other games come down the
Definitely.
line, Dave.
I got
Hey.
I had a what was I was I had a question for you. Shoot, I just forgot.
Well, that's okay. Think about it for a minute, Dave.
Okay.
Coach Bernard, we'll get out of here, Dave, in a minute. But unless you got something else for these guys, appreciate Marcus Smith, Aiden Hamada, and CHAZ Ennis, and of course Larry Clark. I owe you, man. Dave.
Oh, you know what? I enjoy. It's been quite a few years now, and being able to spend time with a team that's so far east, and being able to talk to them on the phone or text them or whatever way of communication I can get a hold of them. It's I can really appreciate, since they're so far east. It's still kind of a it's kind of a favorite. They're a favorite of mine on the side. That I wouldn't.
Like you too, Dave.
I don't want to tell too many people that, especially being a former Granite Hills Eagles. So I gotta be careful with that. But
I just want to see.
And we got. I mean, listen, not just football. I mean, we got one of the premier pitchers out of your school recently. So as you know, so. Lots of talent that is awaiting to be plucked right out of your program.
Well, I want to see more games like the one, like the game against O'Farrell. I know we kind of picked on them a little bit, but I think that we can see some production like we saw in that game.
Right.
Seems so long ago now. I mean, a year and a half ago. That game and.
That's what my question had to do with. I remembered it now. So, our game got moved to 4:30 instead of 7 because of having a little trouble with the lights. So, I was wondering, do you know any other games that are starting that early Friday? Probably not, huh?
No, I think they're all 7 o'clockers.
7 o'clock.
So, I was gonna say, we're gonna be the first CIF game, regular season game, to be played since 2019.
There you go.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right? I was thinking about that. That's pretty cool.
I'm going to share it. Make sure that when we get it on that page, I'm going to share it out to at least our audience as well. I think that's going to give everybody a little bit of a lead in, if you will, Dave, to the 7 o'clock games. How about that? That's what we'll do, Dave. We'll share that Facebook link. We already know that all the RedHawks family and friends and community is going to watch, so we'll get it spread out here too. Awesome, great idea. Thank you.
2 touchdowns,
Sounds
Marcus. Good. 2 touchdowns. Maybe even the winner.
Yeah. And Maranatha, we don't know what Maranatha's plans are. If they can't bring anybody, they're going to be. They probably, I don't know, Coach. Did they ask you guys? Did you tell them you were streaming the game? And I imagine they're probably going to take advantage of that.
I don't know if the AD told him. I would think he probably did, but I know one thing for sure. They're going to be cold out there tomorrow. I know that.
Yeah. So that's the one thing. I mean, they talked about the 3 days of rain, and I guess it's supposed to end like at, around noon. I don't know. Noon, 1. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. I just,
It says it's like, I don't know. It says like 30 or 40 degrees tomorrow out there. So yeah, they're about to be cold.
Dave, I've just changed plans. I'm going to send you to that game.
What did you say?
So we'll hear from you guys. Hey, you know what? Like I said, Dave, what we're planning on doing, Coach, is maybe even, like I said, not only with you guys, but we might do a little post game. So you guys will probably be done with dinner by the time that rolls around, or getting together after the game. If it's a victory, maybe we can work something out too, Dave.
Right.
Plan on getting some of the other teams together right after the game. Well, we only got a couple games to choose from, unfortunately, but There'll be more and more games every week, Dave. Thanks so much for getting the RedHawks tonight.
Hey, thank you guys. Love being on with you every time I talk to you.
Absolutely appreciate it, and appreciate you guys staying up later, a little later. I know that you guys aren't on campus as often as you'd like to be, but
Right.
still, thanks for taking some time out, spending some time with the older guys, and talking football. We always appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
100 yards tomorrow, Aiden. I want to see it. Grind it out.
Yeah,
All right.
I want to see that too. That's
Yep, that's
Two-
what I remember. I
I'm gonna
remember that
try my
O'Farrell
best.
game. He had almost 100 against that in that O'Farrell game. He had almost 100 that game, and I think Marcus had a big game too in that one. So, all right,
Yeah.
you guys, thanks a lot. Mountain
Okay.
Empire, Dave, great job. Let's see someone there. Heather's comment that says, "You know what she said? Great job, boys. Good job. Look at that."
There we
Thank you,
go.
Heather.
All righty. Thank you.
Hey, our pleasure, and thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks to the RedHawks. For Dave Dickens, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us, and let's have a great, healthy season.